Cleveland, Ohio. For at least a week before he was fired, Vice President Sashi Brown sensed he was in trouble with ownership. He knew owner Jimmy Haslam was looking to add an experienced football man to the personnel department. When it was learned Haslam was targeting John Dorsey, it was obvious the former Kansas City Chiefs general manager would not be coming to Berea to work for Brown. Early in the season, coach Hugh Jackson was making it clear in press conferences that the roster was too young to have any real success. Jackson consistently distanced himself from the front office. Stories appeared about how he didn't favor some of the top picks and moves made by Brown. It was the most public split between a coach and Brown's front office that I've ever seen during a season, most of it coming from Jackson. And Jimmy Haslam were more sympathetic to the plight of the coach than the front office's long-term plans. Jackson denies there was any power struggle, but there certainly was a battle for who'd have the most influence with ownership. Jackson prevailed as Haslam insisted he be given another year as coach when Dorsey was hired. Brown inherited a team with a .313 record. It had the NFL's highest-paid defense, yet ranked 27th in that category. The franchise needed lots of young players and picks to rebuild the roster. An argument can be made that Brown allowed too many veterans to leave via free agency. But the main concern with hiring Dorsey was to draft better. After being unfairly fired following a 4,721 record in Kansas City, Dorsey is anxious to run a team. He is willing to try to make it work with Jackson because of all the assets available to improve the team. Thanks to Brown, the team has 5 picks in the first 2 rounds of the 2018 draft. They also have more than $100 million in salary cap space. Any personnel man worth his weight would be excited, said Dorsey. Sashi did a great job creating some draft picks and some salary cap space. To me, this is an opportunity that not many personnel guys in my position would pass up. Carson Wentz. Coleman. Also haunting Brown was the continued success and ascension of Carson Wentz. It's doubtful even Philadelphia expected Wentz to become an MVP candidate in his second NFL season. But the Eagles were willing to make a major trade with the Browns, moving up from number 8 to number 2 to grab Wentz. The Browns traded down again to number 15. The Browns piled up the picks. The Eagles picked Wentz. Making it look even worse was Chief Strategy Officer Paul DePodesta telling ESPN's Tony Grossi that none of the quarterbacks available to the Browns in the 2016 Browns would be considered in the top 20 in the NFL. Some key points. 1. The player picked at number 15 by the Browns in 2016 Baylor receiver Corey Coleman was the first receiver selected. Coleman broke a hand in each of the last 2 seasons. He has caught only 48 passes in 15 games, 4 for 2 counts. 2. Coleman is only 23. Receivers sometimes need a few years to develop. Injuries have plagued him. His struggles combined with the rise of Wentz in Philadelphia led to major doubts from ownership. 3. If Coleman had the look of a Pro Bowl receiver, Brown would be viewed far more favorably. 4. Here are the other players who came to the Browns in those 2016 draft deals: Sean Coleman, Cody Kessler, Ricardo Lewis, Derek Kindred, Spencer Dringo, Jordan Payton and Deshaun Kaiser. 5. It's not a bust because Sean Coleman and Kindred have helped as starters. Dringo will likely have a long career on the offensive line. A player I really like for the 2016 draft is Emmanuel Ogbah, a defensive end very good against the run. 6. As for Kaiser and Kessler, who knows, it would be a mistake to write off Kaiser. 7. But the front office missed on the elusive franchise quarterback. That's a tough thing to overcome, especially when no one in the front office has a long track record of draft success. Deshaun Watsonjabrill Peppers. 1. In 2017, the Browns coaches and front office agreed on the selection of Myles Garrett with the number 1 pick rather than quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. 2. Unlike Coleman, Garrett is a superb physical specimen. He has dealt with ankle issues and a concussion, but he is a Pro Bowl talent when on the field. Garrett leads the team with 5.0 sacks, playing only 7 games. 3. Trubisky could turn out to be an excellent quarterback. The rookie struggles of Jared Goff followed up by his tremendous sophomore season shows it's unwise to make snap judgments about first-year quarterbacks, especially high picks. 4. But the decision to pass up Trubisky for Garrett appears to be the correct one. Brown receives zero credit for that. He could easily have traded down, but refused to do so. 5. The Browns had a chance to pick Clemson quarterback Deshaun Watson at number 12. Jackson favored Ohio State defensive back Malik Hooker. Instead, the Browns traded down to number 25, picking up Jabrill Peppers. The Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year has had problems adapting to deep free safety in the Greg Williams defense. 6. With Houston, Watson was having a super rookie season when he suffered a major knee injury after 7 games. Perhaps Peppers will become an impact player next season. 7. The Browns also have Houston's 2018 first-round pick, and that could be very viable. So it's unfair to close the book on this trade. 8. I think David Njoku has a chance to be an impact player in this era where tight ends are important pass catchers. Brown traded up into the first round to get him. 9. Hurting the front office is that other than Garrett, none of the rookies picked in the last 2 drafts has shown a star quality. Several players could turn into solid starters. But for a team with a 127 record, every draft pick is studied. Fans and media are desperate for instant results. 10. Finally, I look at this roster and still think it should be better than 127 in the last 2 years. Not all of the issues are the fault of Brown. About Kenny Britt, John Dorsey will be remembered for his first move as Brown's general manager, cutting Wr. Kenny Britt. It was easy for Dorsey to do. He didn't sign Britt to a 4-year, $32 million deal. Britt had $10 million guaranteed. He caught 18 passes for 233 yards. He had minor injuries. He seemed to sulk. A month into the season, it was obvious the signing of Britt was a mistake. When the NFL trading deadline passed at the end of October, Britt should have been cut. I like the analytics approach, so this is not about picking on Brown. But in the case of Britt, the analytics failed. He was highly rated by Football Outsiders and other analytics sites because Britt caught 68 passes for 1,002 yards last season. That was with the Rams, when quarterbacks Case Keenum and Goff were both having miserable years. The 29-year-old Britt had never played for a very good quarterback in any of his 8 seasons before joining the Browns. So the projection was Britt could be productive in Cleveland, even with its quarterback problems. But Britt cashed his bonus check and then seemed to check out of trying to help the Browns win. Dorsey knew the coaches wanted Britt gone. He had no connection to Britt. So it was a smart and simple decision. The Browns did sign 3 other free agents who have helped: Kevin Zeitler, J.C. Tretter and Jason McCourty. About quarterbacks, part of what made Dorsey a success in Kansas City was his partnership with Andy Reid, one of the NFL's best coaches. Reid has coached 19 years with Philadelphia and Kansas City with only 3 losing seasons. When Dorsey joined him with the Chiefs in 2013, Reid arrived from Philadelphia with a 13,093 record and 9 playoff appearances in 14 seasons. Dorsey said the Chiefs had a huge need for a quarterback. They'd had 7 starters in the previous 5 seasons. He targeted veteran Alex Smith, making a deal for him. Alex's mannerisms and mindset were the same as the head coach, said Dorsey. That was really interesting. You want guys that are natural leaders, guys with an understanding of the game of football. Smith does not lose games with turnovers. In 5 years with the Chiefs, he has a 4,726 record. 99 TDs compared to 32 interceptions. It's a safe guess Dorsey will take the same quarterback route with his new team. It could be Smith or another veteran. The idea would be to blend the quarterback with the coach. Smith may be available after the season. Despite the success with Smith, Kansas City traded up to the number 10 spot to draft quarterback Patrick Mahomes in 2017. Dorsey gave up picks number 27 and 91 in 2017 along with a 2018 first-rounder. The last time Kansas City drafted a quarterback in the first round was Todd Blackledge in 1983. I expect Dorsey to both draft a quarterback high and trade for a veteran. He knows the missed opportunities for quarterbacks in Cleveland and he doesn't want to add to that list in 2018.